You tell me who I am.
They called you West.
Jim West.
Mr. West.
West!
Well, my name is James West.
A truly great man.
Brilliant.
Secret Service agent.
What's next? Come on, I'm waiting.
Man of action. He's James West.
Where's Jim West?
On the Wild Wild West. Weekdays at 4, 3 Central on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to Connect with me on this election day. Game on. The polls are open. Hey, the campaigning, it's still going on right up until the last minute. We'll have two political people here in the studio to talk about what the races look like before the polls close at 8 o'clock. We'll have Feleena Sutton and Mike Briggs. 265-4331 is the number. You know, here's the thing that gets me. I was thinking about this morning as I was getting ready for work and thinking about the election and watching, flipping around, watching all the news channels. You know, if these people who are running for office, and that includes the President of the United States, worked as hard to govern once they got in as they did trying to get in, wouldn't we have a better country? They're still out campaigning. I mean, it's been like a 24-hour marathon for both candidates. Of course, the president, President Obama, Barack Obama, and Mitt Romney. If they ran the marathon while they're in office as if they're trying to get into office, perhaps things wouldn't be as bad as they are now in terms of the economy, the unemployment rate. But anyway, we're going to be talking about the election. We're going to go over all the races today. We're going to talk about each and every race from Congress to the Assembly to Fresno Unified, the school district there, electing some people as well. Fresno City Council, we've got some races. And what about all those propositions? You've got Prop 30. That's the one that people say, hey, that belongs to the governor. Governor Jerry Brown, of course, that's his prop. Is it going to pass? Is it going to fail? We don't know. He wants more money for the state of California. We've heard about Prop 36, of course. That's the three strikes one. Hey, how about Prop 34? That's the death penalty. Should it stay or should it go? A lot of controversy about that one. And we're going to talk about, obviously, the presidential race. This thing coming down to the wire. What kind of an influence, if any, did Hurricane Sandy have on all of this? We're going to be talking to two people here in the studio. Live in our studio right now is Mike Briggs, of course, a former assembly member, a former city councilman, and Feleena Sutton. One is on the left, one is on the right. Moi, I am in the middle, although not literally in the middle. I'm on the end of the desk, but we'll be talking and about the election, and we'll take your phone calls. Area code 559-265-4331. Today's D-Day. If you haven't decided yet, you better hurry up because the polls close at 8 o'clock tonight. We're back in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready steam equipped, high efficiency Frigidaire affinity place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
So if you're undecided, oh my goodness gracious sakes alive, what are you waiting for? I mean, today is the Super Bowl of politics. It's the big general election. We elect a president, either a new one or the current one stays into office. Here is Feleena Sutton and Michael Briggs to talk about everything that's going on. Do the same thoughts go through your head if someone gets elected, if they worked as hard while they're in office as they do trying to get into office? Wouldn't we have a better place to live?
I think that's a good way to pick your candidate. If you're undecided, who's the guy who's working the hardest? Because usually they do work hard when they get in office.
Really?
Yes.
You think so? What about you?
Well, I think Mike knows better than I do, but these guys work sometimes 16, 18-hour days. There is a lot of hard work. It's just not a lot to show for it sometimes at the end.
Okay, what do you make of the presidential race, Mike? Let's start with you.
Well, I think Mitt Romney could come out on top. I mean, is it who I
What's
think is
the
going to win
reason
or
you
who I
think that?
should win? Well, it's very close. I saw some scenarios overnight where if certain things happen, Romney can win. But, I think Obama probably has the edge right now.
All these swing states, they're talking about Ohio, of course, Virginia, and Florida. But recently, here in the last few days, Pennsylvania and Iowa have really come into the picture.
Right,
and West Virginia, obviously.
NBC had a scenario today where the presidential race could be thrown to the House of Representatives, which Romney would probably win that. But the vice presidential race would be thrown into the Senate, and Biden would win that. So we saw one scenario we could end up with a Romney and Biden.
Right.
That'd be fascinating.
Has Hurricane Sandy had any kind of an effect on the
Oh, it
presidential-
absolutely has.
In what
It
way?
absolutely has. I was just listening to some news reports today that some folks were saying, I want to go vote, but I've got to deal with this cleanup here. I don't have a house. I don't have a place to sleep tonight. So some folks are, number one, going to stay home that may have been voting. And number two, while Hurricane Sandy was just a horrible, horrible thing, it does benefit the president because it put him in a leadership position and it completely wiped Mr. Romney out of any press coverage for the last week.
I know, but he showed up for a photo op with Governor Christie and then left. There are people there still suffering. A lot of people say that Hurricane Sandy is as big and as big a disaster, if not bigger, than Hurricane Katrina, and everybody is ignoring what's going on now. You people without power, without food, in New York City, without power. They're dumpster diving in New York City.
Mm-hmm. That's why the president has marshaled his forces, and we have the military that's coming in. It takes a little bit of time to get things up and going, but he does have the military coming in to help people.
Your thoughts on Sandy?
Well, my thought would be is who would those people have voted for? Because a bunch of them are not going to vote. They're going to let them vote this way and that way and the other. But they don't have TV. They don't have cell phones. They just don't know. And they're not going to get up and travel miles to vote. So I'm not sure who New York would have, how that vote would have gone. Do you know?
Oh, New York is firmly for President Obama. It's a very Democratic
Therefore,
state.
it helps Romney.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you think Hurricane Sandy helps Romney?
Yeah, if Obama voters can't get out and vote, it's going to help Romney.
Yeah. Now, do you agree with what I said? The president kind of showed up for a photo op and then just took off?
Yeah. The president's the president. I don't think he's going to be out, with sandbags and feeding people personally,
Right. But where's FEMA? Where's the Red Cross?
I do not know.
According to Governor Christie, everybody's there and doing fine.
Well, I don't know what news reports you're watching, but there are people without power, without food.
Yes.
We've got a nor'easter coming in this
Gonna be
week.
hit
It'll
again.
be dipping down below freezing. You got 60, 70 mile an hour winds coming in the next couple of days. People still suffering in New York a lot.
Right.
So who does that benefit?
Well,
I'll let you pick it up.
Well, for those that get to the polls that can get there, I think they're going to vote for the president. I'm worried about the folks who are going to be left behind and essentially disenfranchised because of the weather.
Yeah, it's just hard to imagine in this country that kind of a situation, just lingers on with people suffering.
well, there's amongst Republican circles, there's a saying that, if it's a close race, we hope it rains on Election Day because Republicans will go vote in the rain and Democrats will stay home.
Hey,
Right.
let's put up some figures, or actually names up on the screen, some races here. Let's go 16th congressional race, Jim Costa, Brian Whelan. There it is up on the screen right there. Who do you like here?
Oh, definitely Congressman Costa. The recent redistricting has pushed his district much more north of Fresno, so he doesn't have to worry about Kings County solidly in Democratic hands.
You?
I'll hold the Republican line, and of course I'm for Brian Whalen, but I don't see him overcoming Costa.
I was going to ask you, what kind of a shot does he have at beating the incumbent?
Yeah, if we're here to talk about what we think is going to happen, Costa will probably be the congressman.
All right, we'll change it. We'll go to the 21st Congressional with John Hernandez and David Valadao. Valadao, of course, is in the Assembly right now. Hernandez trying to make a run. Valadao is the Republican. Hernandez, the Democrat. We'll start with you this time, Mike.
Well, I said Blanc Zhang would beat Hernandez in the primary, and I was wrong. So maybe maybe Hernandez does have something going there. But I think Valadao has the experience. He's worked hard. He knows how to do these campaigns. He's got the right people behind him, and I think he'll overcome John Hernandez.
Feleena?
For the same reason that Jim Costa wins his district, Valadao will win his district because it's been redistricted to be a very strong Republican district.
All right, we'll change it. We'll go to the 22nd Congressional. Devin Nunes, of course, long time in office. Otto Lee trying to unseat him. Highly unlikely, right, guys?
Very highly unlikely.
I mean,
and Otto is a great candidate, such a smart guy, an astronaut
right.
even, but I think Devin's going to be very safe.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Assembly. Well, actually, Mike, before we do that, yeah, let's just go to the Assembly. Jim Patterson, Bob Whalen, a nasty race. Mostly on Whalen's part. He's had some attack ads on KMJ radio. Let's pick it up with you, Feleena.
Well, attack ads, that's just part of the territory. You got to get used to it.
Right. Who do you like in this one?
I like Bob. I'm really rooting for him. Even though I'm a Democrat, I guess I have only two Republicans to choose from here. Yeah.
Well, you know both very well. Yeah. You know Jim Patterson very well, former mayor of Fresno, has made several runs for Congress. A couple of runs actually has failed. What do you like here?
Interesting thing here is that Clovis City Council members just don't seem to get elected to higher office. We had Nathan Magzig ran for supervisor, Whalen ran for assembly last time, Jose Flores ran for sheriff, and they should be in the catbird seat. They really should be able to raise the money to get where they want to go. I give the edge to Patterson on this.
Okay. Is it? What do you mean? Whalen is a former council member,
He's
right?
He's a council member now in Clovis.
In Clovis, he's a council member now. Is it a jinx over there in Clovis? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't believe in jinxes, but I don't know if the voter base just isn't there or what the issue is. But Patterson has such a wide name ID, and I don't know if Whalen would have been able to catch up.
And the thing about Jim Patterson, I haven't seen one negative or attack ad on television, him attacking his opponent. Yeah. All right, time to take a commercial break here. We're going to come back with Feleena Sutton and Mike Briggs to run down some of the other races. Remember, the polls stay open till 8 o'clock tonight. And you know, Brandy Orth was our guest here yesterday, so you heard what she said about the absentee ballots. You've got those drive-by places. You can drop them off at her office, still mail them in. You've got plenty of time. Back in just a moment.
When you need to talk to a private eye.
You want to be talking to Jim Rockford.
That's right. He's the one to talk to.
They don't know who you're talking to.
Rockford.
He's got everyone talking.
What kind of lowlife is he?
Takes out half-page ads in a phone book.
I seem to recall the phrase, moderately intelligent private detective.
You have a smart mouth. You're right, I do. But I'm working on changing that.
Jim Rockford is all the talk on MeTV.
He's something else, all right.
Weekdays at 11, 10 Central on MeTV.
The age of technology. Let's take this three-shot over here. Look at this. Felena's here with her iPad. Mike is with his iPhone, getting the latest. I don't know if the exit polls are out yet. Probably not, right, Mike? Some
are coming
yeah.
out. Yeah.
So what's going on? What's the
It's
latest?
leaning towards Romney.
It is.
Polls, yes.
Yeah. But what kind of a sign is that, though?
Well, the early voting, Republicans are more likely to vote early. So if Romney's doing well in the exit polls, I think he's going to do well. But I don't think any of that matters, except in those states that it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, here's one thing that bothers me before we get into this next group of races. What bothers me about the presidential race is usually, not every single time, we saw what happened in 2000, usually when they get to California, the race is over.
Yes.
So it's almost like, okay, I voted for whoever, and it's like a wasted vote for president. Do you agree with that?
Well, the presidential race in California is over anyway already. So.
Right.
But what's really important
But
is...
but I'm saying, as far as voting, does it feel like a wasted vote?
I don't think so. Really, the Congress is going to decide who, a lot of stuff for us, and it's important we get out and vote for those lower seats.
Right. What do you think about that?
It's never a wasted vote because there's so much more on that ballot other than just President of the United States. Just take a look at some of our local initiatives here.
I was specifically
So
targeting
important.
the presidents of the United States, that office. Does it feel like a wasted vote?
Well,
Yes
as
or
long
no?
as we have the Electoral College, it's going to be, the end game is the same, what you're suggesting.
I know. We're sitting here already at like 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and the polls are still open. Oh, by the way, we've already elected a new president. It's, anyway, let's get into some of the other races. Fresno Unified School District, of course. Boy, this is hotly contested races here. Area 2, you've got Chavez, Diaz, and Darren Miller. I believe this is the seat that Larry Miller vacated. Selena, do you have an opinion about this one here?
I really don't have a good feel on Area 2, to be very honest.
Okay.
I don't, did you? Are
I
you
don't
feeling
either,
one way?
no.
Okay. I mean, Area 5. I have a definite feel.
Okay, let's go to Area 5 then. Let's just go to the next one. And there you've got Andrew Doris, Carol Mills, she's the incumbent, Nicholas Montoya. A lot of people never even heard of him, but what do you make of this one?
I think Carol Mills is going to still come out strong.
Carol Mills will retain her seat.
Why? Why?
More people are going to vote for her.
Why?
What little name recognition that does exist goes to her.
Okay, let's go to area.
In fact, I'll predict that Carol Mills will receive more votes than both of her opponents combined.
This man is a genius. Get this man his own show.
Area 6. Look at that. Looks like a traffic jam.
Yikes.
George Whitman,
Yeah,
Daniel
doesn't
Harrison,
help.
Ken Trapp, Janet Ryan, the incumbent, Carol Blomgren. She's a very nice lady. Some of those candidates were on our show here before debating this Area 6. As you know, Fresno Unified is in disarray right now, being attacked from every side, especially the Fresno Bee, for the truancy, for the dropout rates. So this is a very important race here. All three of these races are. Any comment?
Yeah, Janet Ryan should do well. She's like the grandmother of Fresno School Board, and she's been there. She's got the experience. She didn't even want to run again, but she felt a duty to step in one more time. And her signs are brilliant. Those apples with vote Janet Ryan.
Right, I see that. Yeah, I've seen those. You?
Yes. Oh, I have to agree that Janet Ryan's going to take it because there is zero name ID with all of the rest of these candidates. I've seen no signs for them.
Yeah. Let's go to Fresno City Council District number 2. Mike, you should know a lot about this race. You're a former city councilman. You've got Brandow and Pat DeChico. They are trying to replace the seat left vacated by Andreas Borges.
I wouldn't count Pat DeChico out. I mean, people love the DeChicos. They've been solid in this community for years. No controversy. Pat DeChico's heart is really in this. Probably still will give the edge to Brandow because it just seems like he had a more together campaign. I hear ads every few minutes.
And he has more endorsements.
More endorsements, yes.
You?
Actually, I think Chico's going to take the race.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. That the further you go down the ballot, the longer you've been there, the more frustrated you become, and people start making their decisions a lot quicker. And the DeChicos sell pizza. We all know the name.
You must have eaten their pizza.
Of course, I grew up in Fresno.
But what does it take, Mike? Because you know, as we leave that up there just for a few minutes here, what does it take to win a city council seat?
You have to make the most contacts with voters. I mean, you got to hit that door 4 or 5 times, and maybe another 10 other hits through commercials or mail or something like that. And those who hit the door the most with the best message, that's who's going to win. I like Feleena's analysis, so that the name ID may put DeChico over the top.
Does it matter that Pete Mijas or Mayor Alan Autry or some of these other big names have endorsed Brandow? Does that matter in a city council race?
I think it helps. But
really?
I don't think it's a definitive. We've seen people with great endorsements lose.
Yeah. Do you think it makes a difference?
Endorsements are best when fundraising. If Pete Mijas likes me, then why won't you write me a check? But it doesn't really. I really can't make a case where that gets you more votes, but it can get you money.
Yeah. So you like DeChico, you like Brandow. Hey, how about the Sanger mayor seat? That one, of course, belongs to Joshua Mitchell right now. And I was reading reports on the internet and saw Facebook. I guess he got some death threats and is wearing a bulletproof vest right now. Victor Reese is on the council. He's running for mayor against Randy Guerrera and Adrian Villarreal. Adrian's father was once the mayor of Sanger. Sanger, I don't know. How many people follow Sanger? I just thought I'd put that one up there because it's kind of interesting.
Well, a lot of us are familiar with Joshua Mitchell because he went beyond Sanger. He's been all over the place, trying to attract attention to Sanger. I think he's done a really good job as mayor, and I think that's going to help carry him through. I'm not sure whether they go to a runoff or not, but I think he's been a pretty popular mayor.
Yeah. You, Feleena?
Well, it's going to benefit Joshua that there are 3 Hispanic surnames on the ballot, because that could bifurcate any large Hispanic voting bloc.
Right. Now, these death threats that he got, I guess, in the last couple of days, he's playing that up big. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. Will that play to his favor? Let's get a comment from both of you about that.
Well, I think if someone is willing to die to be in office. That speaks very highly of their character.
Right. You can't ever take these threats lightly, can you, Mike?
No. And what I found interesting on Facebook was one person posted that a Sanger police officer came to their door and said it'd be safer if they took down their Joshua Mitchell sign. I mean, what kind of electioneering is going on in Sanger?
Oh, yeah, that's bad when it gets to that level. Anyway, it's time to take another break, and we're going to come back and run down all the propositions, and there are 11 of them in all. We're back in a moment here on Connect with Me. You're watching the election coverage. Hey, it's D-Day. Go out and vote.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
The polls close in about, 9 hours and 10 minutes, 11 minutes, something like that. So you have no excuses. Hey, you can go on your break and vote. You can go on your lunch hour and vote. When you get off at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, you can vote. The polls will stay open, and there is no reason not to vote. I mean, how many people around the world, think about this, how many people around the world have died previously and are willing to die just for the right to take a vote? You know what I mean? It's our duty, it's our honor to vote. Is it? Am I?
Well, if I could
am I
further
right?
that, with the original writing of the Constitution, my gender didn't have the right to vote. We had to fight for it.
That's right.
So, ladies, Marshall, come on, put on your big girl panties, get out there and vote.
Mike, it really is. It should be considered an honor and really a pleasure for us to get out and vote. Am I right?
Yes, I'm just surprised how few people will vote, because we're going to see today if just a handful can make a difference, even in a presidential race.
Brandy Orthna told me within the Central Valley here, they expect about a 70% turnout. Is that high?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a 70% turnout, but that would be
a
really high.
I think that would be a big story.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a
70%
turnout.
I don't think it's going to be. What do you think the turnout's going to be?
Maybe around 50.
Around 50.
50 would be high.
Even that's pretty high.
Yeah,
that almost doubles it from the last election.
Yep.
If even just getting to 50%.
Why don't people get out and vote? What's your theory on that?
Well, I think a lot of us are just plain lazy, or they don't vote because they haven't taken the time to understand the issues.
Or they think their vote won't count?
Yeah. If you're
Perhaps
one out of a million people,
sure.
does it count?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. We are going to run down the Oh, we have a phone call. Let's take a phone call real quick because we have a lot of time here. We're going to run down the propositions.
Great.
But let's take a quick phone call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Mike Briggs and Feleena Sutton. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. Any comments, any questions for either one?
Well, yes, you're talking about getting out to vote.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that a lot of people don't vote is because they have no way to get there. They have no transportation, and nothing is done to accommodate that. The absentee ballot by mail comes very late, and it has to be back on the same day as the physical polling place counts, and it's too short a time for a person to properly consider everything. And it seems in this day and age of technology, there ought to be additional ways to make it easier for people to vote instead of having to be physically in the place.
Like online voting, would you agree?
Well, I have heard people advocate that.
Yeah.
It seems to me that with our new technology on automated phone systems, there ought to be a way to do it that way.
Right. Well, you bring up a good point, ma'am. I appreciate. Now, did you get out and vote? Were you able to vote, or?
Well, I was able to get mine in yesterday's mail.
Well, that's good. Are you disabled? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't have transportation, and the polling place is 4 miles away.
Oh my, yeah, that is a problem for a lot of people. I appreciate your phone call.
And one further comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand you're going to go to the proposition issues.
Yeah.
I was a voting adult in California when Brown was governor previously 30 years ago. He screwed this state royally. He is proposing some of these ballot issues like Proposition 30. I don't trust anything that man backs.
Okay.
And Nobody knows me from Adams off Ox, but that's my opinion about the situation.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate your time. What do you make of that now in terms of, difficulty in trying to get to the polling place? There's no transportation. Would you, Mike, let me get your opinion. Would you be an advocate for, say, online voting?
Well, first of all, the absentee, you get your ballot 30 days in advance. And I think it's free to send it back. I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty accessible. I think you have to be able to make some effort. Besides, I think we could open for voter fraud if we make it too easy.
What about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, they're doing email voting in New Jersey. There's a little snafu out there, actually. What they have asked is that you can vote via email, but then you need to print out your vote and mail in a hard copy, a paper copy, so that things can be double-checked and make sure that there isn't voter fraud. I wish that we could go that direction.
Yeah, there is a big problem for a lot of people that can't get out and they don't get their votes in time or their ballots in on time. We do have another phone call, but we're going to go to some of the propositions because I don't want to run out of time. Let's go to Prop 30 right here. We've only got about 4 minutes left, so we're going to have to run through these. Proposition 30, this is the governor's proposition. He wants more money for the education fund. Let's go quickly, Feleena. What do you think of this one?
I think it's going to fail, and it's going to be unfortunate because huge cuts will ensue.
Mike?
Yeah, I don't think right now is the time for new taxes. Very few people are paying taxes. Now, I'm not because, I'm not making any money. And so few people are making money. It's just going to be a tax on a fewer people. What we need is to get more people working and they'll have more money.
I thought you were making all the money. You're going to buy everybody lunch here today. No, just kidding. Prop 31. Prop 31. I'm just joking, Mike. Prop 31, state budget. Mike, what do you think about this one?
Is that the more tax one?
Yeah.
Again, taxes are not going to pass right now.
Yeah, it can't get through.
Can't get through. Proposition 32, you all know about this one. Ooh. The political contributions taken out of your check for political use. Feleena?
I actually think that it's going to pass, and frankly, that worries me.
You?
Oh, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Vote yes.
All right. Prop 33, the auto insurance companies.
Yeah, I want to take my discount when I go to another company. I think it passes.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay. We all know about the death penalty. That's Prop 34. A lot of people say, you know what? Why even have the death penalty on the books? For the fact of the matter is, you get on death row and you're on there for 20 years.
You die there. You actually die there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I actually don't believe in the electric chair. I believe in the electric couch. I say put them on 3 at a time, and let's start cleaning the place out.
Mike,
so,
is this
not very liberal, huh?
Is this going to pass or not?
It eliminates the death penalty. I hope it does not. For a short time, we had no death penalty in California. Jerry Brown, when he was governor last, eliminated the death penalty. And once you eliminate it, if you put it back in, those who were on death row when it was eliminated never go on death row again. That's why Charles Manson is still alive in California.
We got 2 minutes left. Prop 35, the human trafficking. I had a hard time understanding this one when I was reading about it. What do you think about it?
Well, it passes because it's a passionate issue.
Okay, you?
Who can, I'm against that, more penalties on human trafficking, but it doesn't belong on the ballot. It belongs to the legislature with hearings.
The way it's written, it's confusing.
It is.
Anyway, okay, Prop 36, Mike Reynolds, you probably both do.
Yeah.
They're going to try to eliminate the third strike. It should not be, it has to be a violent crime in order for it to be a third strike. Will it pass, yes or no?
Well, I hope not. I mean, it's very hard to commit a felony. In my life, I haven't committed any. And these guys who commit felony after felony after felony, they can't help it. They need to be removed. Don't weaken 3 strikes. Don't vote.
I don't think it's going to pass.
Okay. All right. Prop 37, the genetically engineered foods. We've all seen the ads on TV. Yes or no?
The Valley doesn't want it, but I think San Francisco and LA does, so it passes.
Yeah.
You?
It's a poorly written bill. This belongs in the legislature with hearings and committees and debates. This bill is just very bad. Poorly written.
Another tax proposition, 38, as we go to that, tax to fund education. Yay or nay?
It's not going to pass.
Nope.
No.
No new taxes right now.
And Prop 40, the redistricting.
I think that's okay. I mean, the neutral board did the districts. I think we're just approving them here.
Yeah.
We are. It'll pass.
It'll pass.
If people get to the polls, it'll pass.
Okay. Quickly, we got 30 seconds. Again, you have a chance to change your prediction on the presidential race. Who's it going to be, Romney or Obama? We got 30 seconds.
Well, Roseanne Barr or Romney, I think, are on the top right now, but I think Romney will pull it out.
Okay. Feleena, what about you?
I stand by the president. He will have the narrowest of a margin, but win nonetheless.
Okay. On the left, on the right, in the middle, although not physically in the middle. Thank you so much, both, for coming in.
John.
We'll see how the election election goes tonight and into the early morning hours. Mike, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. If it's Connect with Me, it's me, TV Fresno. Have a good day, and don't forget the vote.